Hello, this is Rose Patel. Thailand boasts some of the most visually breathtaking schools in the world. They're certainly more impressive to behold than the majority of schools found within more developed countries. However, under its thin veneer, Thailand's education system is currently ranked among the worst in the world. In almost anywhere in the world, the quality of a formal education is linked to the cost of the school. However, in Thailand, the only schools that offer any meaningful education are ludicrously expensive international schools. As a result, most Thai students grow up severely disadvantaged when compared to people from the rest of the world. Despite throwing in 20% of the Thai government budget into education, Thailand ranked 54th place out of 70 in PISA 2015, among the lowest scoring countries. According to a recent Bangkok Post article, UNESCO clearly pointed out in its 2017 to 2018 Global Education Monitoring Report, Thai governments, past and present, have failed to provide access to universal basic education, a basic obligation of any decent government.
As Thailand's politicians grapple for power, its students struggle under a failing education system. Classrooms are overcrowded, learning methods are outdated, and many teachers lack inspiration and creativity.
Teachers aren't passionate about their job. Many of them couldn't find anything else to do, and then they decided to study to become teachers. Those teachers usually don't have good skills.
International studies place Thais among the worst in Asia for English proficiency, despite being among the biggest spenders in the world on education.
The majority of Thai children usually attend public government schools, which are infamous for their low level of education. However, even among the private schools catered to wealthier students, their education is abysmal. Despite these lavish private schools being smothered with impressive decor, they often lack qualified teachers. This results in classrooms having as many as 50 students per teacher. Most schools across Thailand employ unqualified Caucasians to teach English, and occasionally other subjects. This is partially why Thailand's education system is failing. Disclaimer: I've altered the voices of my interviewees during post-production. They ask not to be identified, as it could jeopardize their teaching positions both at home and abroad. Here, a teacher recounts witnessing corruption in Bangkok high schools.
I taught as an English teacher at several of Bangkok's most prestigious high schools. These schools were absolutely breathtaking to look at, with their giant statues, pillars, and even towering fountains. However, none of these schools put much thought into providing students with even the most basic education. They lacked up-to-date textbooks as well as qualified staff. While I was in Thailand, when applying for high school teaching jobs, looking like a Westerner was the first most salient credential. The second was that I possessed a passport from an English-speaking country. I was never asked to show any of my teaching credentials, nor were any of my Caucasian colleagues.
Do you need a bachelor degree to teach English legally in Thailand? The answer is no.
Some of my colleagues were actually Eastern European, but somehow possessed British and Canadian passports. They hardly spoke a word of English at all, yet they still got employed as English teachers at our school. Over the years, at the schools I taught at, I heard some pretty crazy stories from several of my teaching colleagues. Some of these school teachers confessed to me that back in their home countries, they had served time in prison for very serious crimes. In their own words, their crimes included drug dealing, rape, and attempted murder. Despite this, none of the schools we worked at in Bangkok bothered to do any background checks on any of us.
In this article, Thailand's senior education government minister Rojana Sinthi confessed to having stolen nearly $3 million from Thailand's education fund. She doesn't seem to have been imprisoned for her crimes, though. According to the recent article from the ASEAN Post, A report produced by a professor at Kane University states that corruption is deeply embedded in the Thai education system, with everyone from politicians down to staff owners creaming off tens of millions of baht from school budgets. For example, a case where a shop wrote out a bill for 50,000 baht, but the school had paid just 5,000 baht for supplies. The more serious costs of corruption in education are incurred when children, unable to afford bribes, are denied access to schooling or examinations, and a generation of children come to believe that personal effort and merit do not count. Thai students are justified in feeling this way. Most private schools in Thailand practice a no-fail policy. This simply means that all students in private schools must be given a passing grade regardless of whether or not the students even attend classes or took any of the mandatory examinations. Failure simply doesn't exist as the students' passing grade has been paid for by their parents.
What do you think about no fail?
Oh, very good.
Awesome.
Very good. Awesome.
If the student is not smart, they can still pass the exam. Yes.
Another foreign teacher recounts their nightmarish experience trying to educate in Bangkok high schools.
I taught as an English and French teacher at 3 of Bangkok's most renowned private high schools. Most of my students behaved well and truly tried their best during the school's end-of-year examinations. However, a couple of students drew doodles all over their exam papers. Meanwhile, some others played ball right in front of the classroom. When I ordered the problematic students to return to the examination, they simply shrugged their shoulders and ignored me. The first time I experienced this, I failed the students who refused to take the exams. The school responded by firing me and withholding 2 months of my salary. Furthermore, I got scolded by my boss, who explained how things really worked in Thailand. I should have known better than to fail these students. Their parents had already paid for a passing grade. This taught me that most Thai education certificates aren't worth the paper they were written on. In the next 2 schools I taught at, I never failed a student again. In each school I taught at, the administration provided us teachers with awful textbooks as teaching material. The books were full of inaccuracies. This ranged from grammar, spelling, as well as the subject matter itself. For example, one of the textbooks provided claimed that Amsterdam was the capital of Russia. We, the foreign educators, were forced to teach this misinformation to our Thai students. We were strictly forbidden from deviating off the school books. Attempting to teach accurate information to our Thai students would result in suspension or termination from our job. As an educator, it frustrated me to not be able to do my job properly.
Most Thai schools depend on rote teaching, in which the teachers read a book aloud through a microphone. The students then repeat what the teacher has said until they have memorized it by heart. However, they often don't truly comprehend what they are saying.
The teaching system is based on rote learning and regular tests at the expense of creative thinking.
Any student who dares question the teacher for saying something inaccurate is usually hit with a ruler. On rare occasions, this even happens with university students. This practice teaches Thai people to never question their authorities. It would appear that the Thai education system is not designed to develop critical thinking skills. Instead, it is intentionally optimized to indoctrinate students on how to be unquestionably subservient and obedient towards the higher authority. By keeping their education system in this state, it is easier for the ruling government to keep a tight leash on their population.
Uniformity is key. Everything must be identical down to the students' backpacks.
This school is like a factory manufacturing identical people. All these rules have suppressed our freedom. ordering people to follow and obey the rules. This is what dictators want us to do. Bow down. When the dictator comes, you bow, bow, bow. And don't contradict him. This is the mentality of the Thai teacher.
I realized that in this video I did not address the issue of Thailand's poorest children. They are often forced to work for their parents or beg for money. Therefore, don't attend school at all. I also did not discuss the awful condition of Thailand's rural schools. They each deserve their own dedicated videos. If you found this video interesting, please remember to give it a like, subscribe, and ding the bell for notifications on my future work. This has been Fatally Honest. Ciao.